just one fix. Hush whispers in the dark clicks. Heartbeat pills with every stream. How the ground ain't what it seems. Exclusive threads, hidden posts. In the shadows, ghosts and hosts. Broken code, secret law. Members only, this I swore. Belong to the tribal elites. Shadows dancing at our feet. No outsiders break the line. Members only, drawn and signed. Chaos reigns behind the screen. Digital dreams sold the scene. Fingers tapping summon gods. Binary beats, angels applaud. In this realm we bow to none. Mother shades, starless sun. Geek empire, supreme reigns. Members only in our veins. Belong to the tribal elites. Shadows dancing at our feet. No outsiders break the line. Members only, drawn and signed. In this realm we bow to none. Northern shades, starless sun. Geek empire, supreme reigns. Members only in our veins. Belong to the tribal elites. Shadows dance at our feet. No outsiders break the line. Members only, drawn and signed. Unsigned. That old Yorkshire geek with stories to unfold. Keep your eyes wide open and your soul won't grow cold. In the realm of the strange and the fantastical, lost in the dark, but is the light so magical?
Oh, what am I doing down there? There we go. Hey up, it's Steve, that old Yorkshire geek. An impromptu kind of special show. I was at a loose end. I suppose I should be watching my Deep Space Nines, but whatever. I thought we'd do a watch-along for the original King Kong, my favourite film of all time. So if you own a copy, when I start it, there'll be a big timestamp appears in the middle of the screen, so you can watch it and along with us, because obviously it's not in public domain yet. 2029 is when King Kong goes into public domain. But anyway, so before we start, I've got to make sure my audio is okay, so let's check it. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Speak, Stephen, speak. Still not super loud, is it? Let me hide it up a bit more. My little box of tricks. It's too loud now. It's too loud now. Is it? Oh well, whatever. We'll manage. We'll manage. Right. So anyway, it's for members only. Is this stream, this live stream? It's for members only. So not a lot of people are going to see this. But speaking of members only, it's that time of the month or whatever. It's time to add some new members. I'm going to gift some free memberships. So that's what I'm going to do now. So here we go. Where are we? How do we do it? No, that's not that one, is it? Why is it doing this? Why won't it let me? Why won't it let me gift a membership? Stupid bloody thing. Well, it won't let me. It won't. I think I'm going to have to change it from members only so I can gift memberships. Unbelievable. Right, bear with me. There's always something, isn't there? There's always something. So I'm going to have to do it this way. Just bear with me. We're live. Who gives the monkeys? Right, so I will just put it to public for the moment, and we'll see what that does. Hey, oh, hang on, I saved it. Right, so we'll do this. Right, we should be public now. View on YouTube. Hey. Right, let's see what it does now. So I can give some. There we go. Can't give memberships if it's a members only stream. Unbelievable. Right, I'll give some memberships. What the heck? We'll give 10 memberships. I usually do them in 5s. I'll do 10. I'll do 10 today. I'll gift 10 members. Right, so there we go. Here they'll come any minute now. Who's going to get memberships? Because it's still all random, innit? It's still all random. But, right, so gift memberships being announced in live chat. Who's got 10 memberships? Tim Rose, William Barr, Shane Gaunt, Archmage Frey, that mysterious man from Twitch, President-elect Jackie Bird, William Rupert Jr., Nick Davidson, Gary Clark, Gambit 1987, and Laura Smith. Is that it? All received memberships, so you'll be a member for a month, won't you? I think that's how it works, isn't it? You've all been gifted a free month's membership. Yay! Right, so that's that out of the way. Oh, hang on, I've got to change it back to members only, haven't I? Bloody forgot. Unbelievable. Just bear with me. We'll go back into the members only part. Right, public, members only, publish, close. Right, we should be members only now, so if I go back on there, it should say members only. Yes, it does. Right, cool. Right, back to the thing. Wingris saying, "Oh dear, what's up? What's the matter? What are you oh dearing about? Please explain before I begin the film." Anyway, before that, King Kong, 1933. My favourite film of all time. Classic movie, directed by Marion C. Cooper, Ernest B. Schoedsack. Written by Edgar Wallace, James Creelman, and Ruth Rose, who I think at the time, or maybe shortly after, I'm not sure, became the wife of Ernest B. Schoedsack. Stars Fay Wray, Robert Armstrong, Bruce Cabot, and a cast of others. And of course, Kong, the eighth wonder of the world, an amazing musical score from Max Steiner, and of course, the amazing special effects of Willis O'Brien. At a budget of $672,000, which were, I think it were quite a lot back then, back in 1932. 1 billion members, says Wingrace. Well, there's 10 more. Right, so I will pop myself down in the corner. Is it that one? Yeah. And we will begin. I will add this to the stage. There we go. So I'm going to press play. So if you've got a copy, get it fired up. I've got it paused, and it will begin. A timer will appear on screen. You can catch up. I've got to start 2. I've got 2 screens open. I've got one with like a blurred out version with the timer on, and then the actual one I'm going to watch. But anyway, before we start, I forgot to mention this. Hang on, let's put myself full screen again a minute. There we go. One of my prides and joys, the Region 1 DVD set of King Kong, Son of Kong, and Mighty Joe Young. But really, I bought it for, there's a documentary on made by Peter Jackson. At the same time that he were making his remake of King Kong, he did this documentary about the original King Kong, and it's amazing, one of the best documentaries ever, and I actually watch it quite regularly. So if you can pick that up, give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. Right, I'll put myself back down in the corner. I forgot which one it is. Is it that one? Yes. Right, so I will press play and we'll just start watching the film. As I said, it'll appear there in a blurry fashion with a big timestamp over it. So, and hopefully, I've got another thing. Hopefully, the mic won't pick up the audio very much. We'll see what happens, won't we? We'll see what happens. Right, off we go. I've done something wrong already. Never mind. Why has that gone massive? Just a minute. Bear with me. It's done it again. It's gone full screen. I don't want it to go full screen. Oh, whatever. I can't see my version. Oh, there we go. Right, we're all right now. Unbelievable. Right, so it's beginning. I don't know if you can hear the audio. You can hear the music of Max Steiner. I've got it low, but we will make do. Right, there you go. Willis O'Brien, Chief Technician. Marcel Delgado helped with a lot of the armatures and stuff. As I said, Ruth Rose, I think, were married to Ernest B. Schoedsack. Anyway. Murray Spivak did a lot of the sound effects. Max Steiner and him were kind of a bit of a team. And Max Steiner were always worried that they hated his music and kept resigning. There we go, the players. I love when they say that. Fay Ray, Robert Armstrong, Bruce Cabot, Frank Reischer, Sam Hardy, Noble Johnson, Steve Clemento, and James Flavin, and King Kong, the 8th wonder of the world. Great stuff. There is actually a colour version knocking about, computer coloured version, and it's not too bad, if you can find it. I think it was when Ted Turner were going around colouring films. Anyway, by the way, that's not an old Arabian proverb, they just made it up for the film. Because this is obviously a Beauty and the Beast movie. New York, 1933. Pardon me. Now then, here we're meeting. This is the theatrical agent. I think is played by. Hang on. Wingrace says, yes, Ted sat down with his crayons and did it himself. If he could, he would have done, wouldn't he? Yes, Sam Hardy as Weston, the theatrical agent. I don't know who plays the amazing old fella. Have a look, see if it says. It doesn't say. Maybe it says on IMDb. Well, I'm shattered today. Why doesn't this old fella have a listing? I mean, maybe he does, I just can't find it on IMDb. Anyway, whatever. There's Carl Denham with the pipe, and there's the captain, played by Frank Reischer. There's Captain Englehorn. Carl Denham played by Robert Armstrong. And they're heading somewhere in the Indian Ocean. I think it's supposed to be the Indian Ocean. Somewhere. He's looking for a girl for his movie, Carl Denham. It's been told that nobody wants to work for him because of his recklessness. I'm square. By the way, the Venture in this film is a pretty big ship, isn't it? A lot bigger than we saw in Peter Jackson's remake. But I don't think it's as big as the one in the 1976 version. Oh, sorry. I'm so tired. Bless 'em, the public. He's going to find himself a girl. And he does, oddly enough. Times Square. Into olden days. Remember, this is the height of the Depression. And a lot of very poor people about. But Carl Denham's not one of them. Coffee and sinkers. I think sinkers were cigarettes, I think you get coffee and a cigarette in the morning. They were the days when cigarettes were good for you. Cheers here, this fairy at Andarrow. Well, maybe she was going to buy it. Swoon. At the same time she was making this film, Fairy, she was also filming well, not exactly the same time, obviously, but I think in the daytime she was filming King Kong, and then in the night time she was filming The Most Dangerous Game, aka The Hounds of Zaroff. But Gambit 1987 is here. Hello. As I said, she was filming King Kong during the day and The Most Dangerous Game at night. And in King Kong, she's wearing a blonde wig because she's a natural brunette. I wonder what he bought her. What food did he have? I bet she had a big full English breakfast with bacon and egg and sausages and fried bread. is understandably unsure. I'm going to move my film over here. So I'm not looking over there, I'm looking at you as I watch the flick. Gambit says, this is a true classic. It is indeed my favourite film of all time. It is, that's what it is. No funny business, apart from, giant gorillas and stuff. They're getting ready to set off now. It's where Bruce Cabot punches her in the face. Near enough. Bruce Cabot as Jack Driscoll, the first mate of the venture. It doesn't really explain why they've got such a big crew, because they said earlier on, 3 times more than the ship needs. Did Carl Denham expect them to find something where they need lots of cannon fodder? I don't know. Because he knows about Kong, but he doesn't know what it is. But anyway. Do you think they're going to fall in love? I do. We're off. Oh, spiffing. It was made in the days when some Americans sounded weirdly English. I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't think Anne has any idea what he's talking about either. Great acting coming up. Litter in the ocean with his cigarette. As long as he's tied up. The monkey doesn't go running off. very high waistband, hasn't he? Like Simon Cowell. Ah, see, Jack's in love with Anne. Take your hand off your hip. Like a teapot. Obviously, this was mostly filmed in, Hollywood and the Culver Studios and all that. Some parts of it were filmed, obviously, exterior shots of New York. And when we see Kong later on, when they've captured him on stage, that was filmed at the Shrine Auditorium. But just about everywhere else is in the studio, including the giant gate and all that stuff. And Tim Rose is here. Afternoon, gentlemen. Hello, Tim. Well, it's 9 o'clock at night here. Great map, eh? Skull Mountain, jungle, cliff, village. Awesome Kong, yeah. She used to wrestle for TNA, didn't she? And Tim Roses, thank you for the membership. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, mate. I'm going to gas Kong to, well, not to death, but cases of them. To be honest, I think he only uses one. Anyway. And they're obviously filming a silent movie, aren't they? But it's in the age. So is it supposed to be set in the 1930s? Because, you know, sound movies had arrived by then, but they're obviously filming a silent movie, aren't they? 'Cause there's no sound man, is there, that we see in the film. But Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Schoedsack originally came from silent movies, didn't they? They used to film. They used to go off to the jungles and film silent movies. Um, with tigers and stuff like that in, and so they wrote what they know, I suppose you could say. So does he know there's a big giant monster on this island? Go on, lass. Sorry, I'm laughing because I know what line's coming up next. Confound this fog. Great dialogue. Here we go, you ready? And she asks, how will we know this is the right island? The right island. Mountain that looks like a skull. Oh yes, I'd forgotten. You told me. Skull Mountain. Confound this fog. And they said George Lucas can't write dialogue, don't they? Now then, we're going to see some seagulls flying about now, and I don't know if they're just animated, painted animated, or if they're real seagulls in silhouette, superimposed. I don't know. I can't work it out. You decide. Oh, you can't. Well, if you're watching it along with me, which I hope you are. Yeah. Are they like? I don't know. The one thing they don't give you a really good look at though is Skull Mountain. It doesn't look like a skull to me in any of the angles that we see it. Unless I've just not noticed in how long have I been watching this film since I was like 10-year old. Probably younger. This film was so successful they did a sequel in the same year. Son of Kong came out in the same year. When was this released? This released in March, March 2nd, 1933. When did Son of Kong come out? Son of Kong, the direct sequel, came out in December 1933. So they know how to rattle these films out, didn't they? Son of Kong's okay. Robert Armstrong returns as Carl Denham and Frank Riker as the captain, but we don't have an Ann Darrow or Jack Driscoll. But we see Kong's son. But it's quite sad at the end, I must admit. But anyway, that's by the by. I don't know where this bit were filmed. The bit, that's obviously by the sea. It does say in the documentary that I keep harping on about, but I have genuinely forgotten. San Pedro Harbour, Long Beach. It was filmed at Long Beach, I've just remembered, yes. Trichloride, that's what's in those gas bombs. And there's the wall and the gate, which got burned down for Gone with the Wind. You know, when Atlanta burns in Gone with the Wind, they burnt down that wall and that gate at Culver City. Make sure we're still going. Make sure YouTube hasn't intervened. Apologies in advance for the stereotyping and all that stuff. It was film were made in a different age, and I shouldn't apologise. I don't. You know, sod 'em. There you go. They won't see us now. We're hiding behind these grasses. There's one fella here that does when he's doing the dancing with the gorilla suit and stuff. He always raises his arms at the wrong time. Just one of them. But they're all right, and then there's one fella that does it at the wrong time. Where is he? Not going to show him, is it? It's not going to show him. I didn't Mandela affect it. I know it's going to happen. There he is. Look, did it wrong time. You div. I think he does it more than once. Takes him half an hour to set the camera up. I don't think he even manages to get any footage. Because Noble Johnson sees him first. Here we go with his, I think, first described as Mickey Mouse music. Dun, dun, with every step. Dun, 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 dun. That kid there, look. Come on, woman, get rid of that kid. This film is 92 years old. It's amazing. Amazing. Kong. Great. Oh, pardon me, sorry. Isn't the word for friend is melon, isn't it? We know that from Lord of the Rings. Yes, they are, because she's wearing a blonde wig. The captain is kind of being the C3PO of this scene, isn't he? Luckily, he speaks their language. Ungawa, etc. Oh, cracky, not yawning. I've been cutting the privets today, and it's tired me out. I only did the front ones. Ah, dear. I'm an old man. See, they're gonna fall in love now. Say, I guess I love you. In a bit. Say, I guess I love you. 'Cause that's all you've got to do with women. Just tell them how you feel. These days you just get laughed in the face and walk off. Snogging. Is that a euphemism? Thank goodness he's not on the poop deck. Disgusting. Look, she's so in love. Look, oh, so in love with that big hairy man. But, dun dun dun, here come the islanders in their canoes. They are going to steal Anne away as a gift for Kong. She's like, oh, I feel so womanly. But look, she's pulled his bracelet off. Most unobservant, whatever he is, sailor. He's supposed to be on watch, don't know. But they are super stealthy. Super stealthy islanders. Didn't even notice, didn't make a sound. Oh, God, I can't get on. Yes, I know how you feel, Carl. Hey, Jack's sneaking out to get some more of that New York poontang. Nah, they would have slapped him then, wouldn't he? 'Cause again, this were made in a different time. I'm warning you what his words. He didn't look below very much, did he? See, Captain gets stuff done, not messing about, despite being a sweet old lamb. Charlie with his meat cleaver. The film's gonna get cracking now, and they're like 38 minutes in. A modern filmmaker, not Peter Jackson, because obviously he's done his version. I think if they did this now, a modern filmmaker begin the film on Skull Island and show, or we'd at least hear Kong, wouldn't we? They'd give us something to start the film off in an exciting fashion. No, not JJ. Imagine the lens flares from all these torches if he did it. Sorry, Wingrace suggested JJ. As in JJ Abrams, the cinematic antichrist. Oh, good heavens, you're both. I like these things that they tie her up with. It's like really simple but effective. So they don't break her wrists. Wingrace says, don't worry, he'd leave the project before we even saw Kong. Maybe so, maybe so. Look, they just put her hands through them ropes and then twist it, the thing, until it tightens up. There's the one that didn't break her wrists. Right, leg it. Shut that door. If you're British, you know that reference. Of a certain age. What they got in there? King Kong? Yeah. I hope all them grass skirts are fireproof. They won't be. Anyway, he's going to come soon. His Kong's got to bang their big gong and Kong will be on his way. With the cool sound effects by Murray Spivak. Remember, this film was made only, 6 years after sound came to movies. It was amazing sound design. I don't think it was even nominated for any Academy Awards. I don't know. Let's have a look. Gosh, it's not yours. Reception. Release. Legacy. Analysis. No, I don't think it was nominated for any Academy Awards, because they were doing them at the time, weren't they? Was it 1929, I think, was the first one, wasn't it? Here he comes. Yeah, not nominated for any Academy Awards. There he is. That's obviously a big animatronic King Kong. And here's the stop motion one. They had a couple of versions, the short-faced Kong and the long-faced Kong. Amazing stuff. I love it. Best film ever made. Now he just very gently releases her bonds. Look, very delicately spins the thing in bob round to release her. Well, one of them. She does the other herself and then falls. And he scoops her up and disappears off into the jungle. How big's this island, by the way? And how can it support all these huge creatures? I don't know. We haven't to overthink it. Thankfully, they don't slaughter the natives. Murray Spivak did the Kong's voice is like lion roar mixed with I think like elephant seals and stuff like that, and played forwards and backwards, and to get that distinctive Kong sound. this cool jungles. The best jungles on film. And in the colour version, they look really, really good. You know, going off into the hazy distance. Painted on glass and stuff. And in layers of glass to give it that depth. But as I said, during the day, Fairray were filming this. During the night, they were filming The Most Dangerous Game, and they use the same jungle set as well. Obviously not the gate and the wall and all that, but these. When she were running for her life, because Robert Armstrong were in that as well. Not a bad film. Not a bad film. Oh, look, a Stegosaurus. Look at that. It could be the only one. They're done with rear projections. I think when we see people, I think some of the effects are obviously done before principal photography, because it's rear projection. Or what they call them, travelling mats. So they could have filmed it with a blank space there where the dinosaur's going to go, and then he animated it later. Not for long. Just kill. It's about as Lara Croft. I don't think Stegosaurus were quite that big, were they? Some of the story elements were also borrowed from a film that Willis O'Brien were going to work on called Creation. When we get to the log scene, they were supposed to be chased by a Styracosaurus or an Arsinotherium, which is like a prehistoric rhinoceros. But they cut that out, but they reused the Styracosaurus in Son of Kong. Yeah, we'll make a raft. And they do it in like 10 minutes. They're better than the A-Team. They're amazing. Oh, bang. One raft. Sorted. Completely seaworthy. Or lake-worthy. going to see a brontosaurus. And if you know about dinosaurs, you know that brontosauruses don't exist. They were misnamed, but back then they were brontosauruses. They call them apatosauruses now. Of course, the one that they called a brontosaurus, I think it had a diplodocus skull, and they actually found a full brontosaurus, apatosaurus thingy. They live on the planet Pluto, says Wingrace. How can you tell? From the back. There it is. In a lake. Oh no, it's tipped him over. I'm guessing this is just a really ill-tempered herbivore, because it just wants to kill them. It's like picking them up in its mouth and getting them. Obviously, when we're seeing it in the water like that, it's obviously a puppet. Obviously, you can't stop motion in water. Well, you can, but it wouldn't look right, would it? Then when it's out of the water, it becomes a stop motion brontosaurus. Ah. Oh. No Wilhelm screams in this. I don't think they've been invented yet. Running for their lives now from the brontosaurus, but they're supposed to do away with that, and they're supposed to be running from something else. I think it's either the Arsinotherium or Styracosaurus. I can't remember which. Maybe both. This poor fella's lagging behind. He decides I'm going to climb a tree to escape it. And in the words of Ian Malcolm, it just puts him at a convenient biting height. He's the last fella's going to climb up that tree for some bizarre reason. Instead of following his mates, here he goes. Oh, and he was a little stop motion man climbing that tree. And look, it's a really, really bad tempered brontosaurus, snarling and everything, giving a Billy Idol with its lip. Maybe it just doesn't like people. Oh, it gives him, rags him, and then puts him down. Obviously, it won't eat him because they're herbivores, aren't they? There's the dreaded log. Denham gets caught up on that branch. Luckily for him. But only Jack makes it across, I think. Yes, he does. All the others fall over, look. They're back on the log, but Jack goes down this vine and hides in that little cave. This is where they would end up falling. There they were falling down into the there it is, into the spider pit. Will we ever see the original spider pit scene? Because it were in the early versions of this film, because there's photos of it. Peter Jackson recreated it for that in that documentary that I won't keep going on about. But they took it out because they thought it was too scary. Will we ever see it again, or was every copy destroyed? Quite brutal, isn't it? But apparently they survived. Shows them falling, splattering, but they survived and they get got by the creatures that are down in the pit, in the spider pits. One of them crawls up. And Jack Driscoll's got to deal with it. Something like a lizard with just two front legs. Uh-oh. Kong's seeing him. Uh-oh. That's long-faced Kong, isn't it? Like I said, there's two versions of Kong. That's long-faced Kong. And there's the short-faced Kong. I don't know why there's two different versions. They just have. Here comes the creature coming up from the spider pit. That's some sort of weird lizard with only two front legs and no back legs. Here comes the T-Rex. I don't know if it's supposed to be a T. I think they'd call it a T-Rex, but I think it's got 3 fingers on its hands. Some sort of Carnosaurus, isn't it? No, Kong's got to go deal with that now. I think this fight between Kong and we call it a T-Rex. Essentially what Willis O'Brien did as his like his sizzle reel, his proof of concept, what he could do. He did this fight. He used to like boxing and wrestling, so you see like Kong boxing and throwing him in like a wrestler. Awesome stuff. I can't get over those jungles. I think those jungles look amazing. Oh, she's gonna get her tree thing, stump, whatever it is. She's gonna get knocked over in a minute. Here it goes. It's the equivalent of a ref bump. You know it's gonna happen. Has he done his German suplex yet? I've missed the German suplex, haven't I? It must have been earlier. Because he was breaking its jaw now. It's gruesome and gory. Must be pre-code. It's wonder if there's any animals left alive on this island, isn't it? When they've been there a day. Poor thing. playing with it, look. But he's the king of his world. Right, I'll just scoop her up. There's the animatronic face. Look, she calms him down because he loves her. All because she's got blonde hair. So I think normally it'd just eat them, wouldn't it? The regular brides of Kong. It'd just eat them, wouldn't he, I think? Because she's different. That jungle going off into the distance, it's so atmospheric. Luckily, they find a different way back. Because obviously they can't go that way back because of the no log there anymore, is there? Because Kong chucked it into the spider pit. They go back the river way, don't they? Oh. And some of the effect shots in this film, they look simple, but when you think about it, they're amazing. Lots of layers. Like that one, we had birds flying. There's the T-Rex there. There's Jack, who was sometimes real, sometimes a stop motion thing. There was Kong in the background. When we get to Kong's cave, I think there's the most elaborate shot. I say it lasts seconds, but so many layers in it. I think what they did, I think that the filmed a section. I think they wound the camera back and then filmed another. And if they went wrong somewhere, that was it. They had to start again. Kong's cave, not concave. Kong's cave. So here we go. I'm going to see one of these elaborate shots. Even there, like this one here, like I said, there's smoke, there's bubbling mud in front, there's a little pond with real water in, there's Kong, there's something moving about in the lake, there's Jack there in the background, there's so many layers. some sort of plesiosaur appears. Because he's always taking his eye off her, and every time he takes his eye off her, something else tries to eat her. I don't know what sort of... Some sort of plesiosaur, but I don't know what sort. It's got a really long neck, hasn't it? Does it have legs and feet? No, it has flippers, doesn't it? I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think it's just a plesiosaur. It's probably not any particular one. It's the Loch Ness Monster, isn't it? That's what it is. So is this like just a regular day for Kong? Just fighting off creatures? I think it's supposed to be, isn't it? There must be millions of these big dinosaurs and other prehistoric beasts on this island. Another of my favourite films is The Land That Time Forgot with Doug McClure. And I sometimes wonder what that film would have been like if something like Ray Harryhausen had done the effects for it. Because that didn't have stop motion dinosaurs and stuff in it. It had, puppets and stuff, and they didn't look amazing. They looked okay, I'm easily pleased. But I was wondering if they'd used stop motion in that. It'd been cool. There's a bit here, if you're really quick, there's like a frame, and I can't remember exactly where it is, but there's a frame where they forgot to remove, there's like a gauge that's on a stand that they use in between shots when they're moving the puppet, and they forgot to remove it when they click the camera. So it appears, just in one frame really quickly, but it's there. But I'm not exactly sure where. It's just in this part somewhere. Or maybe in the bit where there's a pteranodon's going to come in a minute and take it away. Because he turns his back for a minute again. Because Jack distracts him. Oh, wow, we've got this bit to go through. This is a bit that were taken out of some, the early releases. I thought it was too sensual or whatever, or too pervy, where Kong's undressing her and sniffing her clothes. But obviously it's been added back in. There were some other bits that were taken out of like natives being squished and stuff like that. Windgrace is in full Austin Powers mode. Does it make you randy, baby? Does it make you horny? And obviously, she's in a big giant, a real animatronic hand, and they've superimposed, a stop motion Kong, short faced Kong. This one over the top. I'm going to watch that documentary when I go to bed tonight. But, is it in here? Haha, yes it is. Because it's a Region 1 set, this. And I don't have a Region 1 player. I used to have, but I haven't anymore. But I used my computer and copied it. I'm going to watch that tonight. In bed. I'll probably fall asleep. Because it's like a 3-hour documentary, 2.5 hours or something. Probably missed that thing appearing. Looks like getting picked up now by a pteranodon with very stiff wings, but never mind. I'm watching, I've got my eyes, I'm trying not to blink. See if you can see that. They've got a name for them gauges, but I forgot what they're called. Yeah, he's going to save her, look. He's going to save his love, his Jack. Didn't see the... See, ship it background, look, you see the Venture way off in the distance, and the wall and everything. He's looking round. Where's she gone? She's got strong arms, hasn't she, hanging on to him. And he's got strong arms hanging onto the bloody rope. I'd have just fallen to me death. But now Kong's pulling them back up. But no, they're going to drop. Ah! That were a bit close, wasn't it? To them rocks. Anyway. Got to swim for it now. Just hope there aren't prehistoric any megalodons in the river. Thankfully there aren't. See, Kong's miffed. Right, I muted myself then because my son were calling me. So she'd be basically doing this twice a day for a while. While she was doing the two films. One in a blonde wig, one in a natural hair. I'm alright, swoon. No, Kong's coming, innit? What this film needs, doesn't it, Windgrace? It needs Jack Black. Ah. Look at those chickens cushioned his fall. Bigelow. Juice Bigelow? I don't know. But anyway. Give me back my blonde, says Kong. a scene that's been redone in other films, and it, Valley of Guanji and others. Here it goes. It's going to come through now. The famous scene. There we go, the famous shot. Now it's time for him to squish some natives and eat some natives. I hope those coconuts are tied on properly. I'm sure that kid's fine. So famously, I think as a, what were he, 13-year-old, 13-year-old, Ray Harryhausen. Oh, look, there's. I think that were taken out and reinserted. 13-year-old Ray Harryhausen went to see this movie at Mann's Chinese Theatre, or whatever it were called back then. And it changed his life, and he became a protege, didn't he, of Willis O'Brien, and eventually became better than him, didn't he? His work were, a lot better, in my opinion. Somebody else being bit to death. I was going to squish somebody. Is this who was going to squish? It's dead cruel, isn't his Kong? There we go. Poor little fella. Oh. I hope that's a big soft rubbery foot that they're using on that extra. I don't think they cared back then. They're probably owned by the studio. Oh, just one gas bomb, and that does the trick. That were made now, apart from Peter Jackson's one. That they used several, wouldn't they? They probably shot him a few times as well. And Peter Jackson, they were just smashing chloroform bottles in his face, weren't they? Some parts of Peter Jackson's King Kong are really, really good, but other parts are, not so great. And it's too long. How the hell are we going to get him on the ship? Don't worry about it. Yeah, of course you will, mate. And then cut to some time later. They've got him back. Doesn't show us out. Don't worry about it. At least in the 76 one, it showed him in the ship, didn't it? In that ship's massive cargo hold. But anyway. Have they kept it a secret? Nobody knows, does they? But there's is it Andy Garcia, or is it other fella? Top hat and tails on. Pete's sake. Chuck A bomb. Only threw one. He's obviously not had a proper press conference, have they? That's how they keep him. How they keep Kong secret. Poor Kong. What have they done to him? They've been torturing him. I said this was filmed at the Shrine Auditorium in LA. Get off! Start the film. Poor Kong, eh? Poor Kong. Remember when Dino De Laurentiis wanted to do like the entire film, the '76 version, with big animatronic puppets, or a big animatronic puppet? Didn't quite work, did it? Oh, good. Nearly tripled then. I wonder if they'll all get refunds, those that survive. If I were in the crowd, I'd be saying, do this another time. Tell us your story. Just get on with it. As if that means something. Uh-oh. Don't worry, it's all part of the show. Stay in your seats. Kong's getting rid of his metal belt. I'm done with that. Right, suppose I better run amok in this big city. Ah. Some poor passerby. That's obviously not Anne, but I will chew you anyway. Ang, 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 ang. Choke. He heard a scream. Is that Anne? I must go and investigate, thinks Kong. Are gorillas good at climbing? I suppose they stay on the ground, don't they? Well, that's not the same woman, is it? Because different hair. Plus she's asleep. Hello, are you Anne, by any chance? Hang on, your hair's a different colour. I shall discard you then. They just happen to be in a room on the side of the hotel that Kong's climbing up, because he appears at the window, look. Looking in. Ah, there's Anne. Good soundproofing as well. Oh, you did a lot of good there, didn't you, Jack? Where's he gone? He disappeared then. Right, got you now. I shall go and find a high vantage point. Look around you, Anne. Can you make some sort of rudimentary lathe? How can we follow him? Now the scene here with the elevator train or whatever they call that were added afterwards because they found that they had 13 reels. That's the story anyway, and it's unlucky to have 13 reels. So they to make another reel. Rather than take things out, they added apparently this with the elevated train to bring it up to 14 reels. So it wasn't unlucky. That's the story. I don't know if it's true or not. The poor people. We got to watch the people being crushed to death and all sorts. And you see them falling out the bottom of the train car down to the corner here. They're all escaping as he's bashing in the top of it. Oh, there they go up. Little stop motion figures getting out and running off. But there's had enough of that. Time to climb. All the field. Excuse me, do you have any aeroplanes with machine guns on? You could. We've got this bother with a giant gorilla. Two of the pilots, played by the directors, Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Schoedsack, they want to be the ones that killed Kong, even though everybody feels sorry for Kong. It kind of paints them in a bad light, doesn't it? But anyway. There we go. There's up climbing the Empire State Building, which you see that in Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. There's a shot in the back because that's a period piece, and in the background you can see the Empire State Building with Kong on the side of it. And here come the planes. I wonder if that scale right then? I don't actually know. Kong's supposed to be about, I don't know, 20 feet tall or something like that, isn't it? I think the Empire State Building was quite new at this point, wasn't it? When had it been built? Bear with me. Uh, 1931. It was built in a year, built in 1930 to 1931. Anyway, so it was quite new at the time. I suppose in much the same way that the World Trade Center in the 76 Kong were quite new. Well, the World Trade Center opened in like 1973 or something like that. Wingrace says, I prefer the Vampire State Building. I bet there is one somewhere. You know, in some story, somebody will have called it that one. There'll be a story about the Vampire State Building. I bet there is. There's a big tower near me called the Emily Moor Mast. And as a kid, I used to think it was called the Wembley Moor Mast. Wembley is a stadium in London. Where they play, big football matches and stuff like that. FA Cup final, My brother used to tell me, "Oh, that's where they play the FA Cup final at the Wembley Moor Mast," and I believed him, because I was stupid. Oh, there we go. Future armour, says Win Grace. Poor Kong. But there were the days, weren't there, we could go around and slaughter wild animals. Should have left him on the island, shouldn't they? They should have left him on the island. Oh, look, he's going. He's going, his Kong. Oh, look, he's mopping his brow. Da-da-da. Just going to pick her up one last time and have a look at her. Say goodbye to Anne in a minute. Picks her up and spins around. Anne, I think I'm bleeding to death. I'm going to pop you back down and fall over 1,000 feet to my doom. In his neck. It is dead sad, isn't it? Oh, I think it is. By the way, if you look in the background, it's not just a static photo in the background. You can actually see stuff moving about. But there he goes, falls to his doom. And it's obviously a very still day. It's not windy up there today. I think you look on the road, I think you can see cars and stuff. You can see smoke. It's not just a static photo of New York in the background. It was actually, film of it. All right, you're under arrest. I think in Son of Kong, he kind of is being threatened, I think, with being put in prison and stuff for all this that's happened. That's why he runs off to the island again. It was beauty killed the beast. No, it wasn't. It was you, Carl. Should have left him there. And there we go. The end. Fiend. Radio Pictures. RKO Radio Pictures. What RKO stands for? Don't know. But there we go. That's the end of King Kong. Cast of characters. So we saw them all at the beginning, didn't we? But anywho, I think it just ends. And that's it. Yeah, done. Oh, I'll nearly start again then for me. Oh, it is starting again. Hang on. Oh dear. So there we go. That's King Kong. My favourite film of all time. I can watch that over and over and over and over again. It is amazing. Amazing effects for the time. And amazing sound effects for the time. Remember, only 6 years after sound came to pictures. So it's an astonishing achievement. And the first blockbuster, some say. Oh, for Pete's sake, what am I doing? I don't know. Just bear with me. Just doing things. Oh, there we go. Come back on. Right. I'm faffing. Some say it was the first blockbuster. Blockbusters, when people lined up round the block to go see the movie. So some say King Kong was the first blockbuster. I think it was the first film to get a re-release as well, a couple of years later. That's when it was re-edited and they took some of the more graphic parts out. But anyway, so there we go. That's King Kong. I hope you enjoyed watching that with me. We'll do this again sometime with another one of my favourite films. Who knows which one? Who knows which one? Right, so we'll leave it there. We're all done. So thanks, Win Grace, and Tim Rose, and Gambit. I can't bloody read it's in green. Gambit 1987. For keeping me company while I watch one of my favourite films. Can't go wrong, can you? Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Hang on, where are we? Wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see you there.
That old Yorkshire geek with stories